Greg Medford here, your knife spirit guide. I'm your spirit animal for the crazy cutlery world. Oh, I got a feather. Somebody said I had a feather on me. Hey, boss, you got a feather on you. I'm going to show you 4 knives today that are pretty cool, pretty sexy. And we have a guest on today's blurb. Take a look who's joining me.
Hey!
Almost ex-wife, Amy, former bride of Frankenstein. All right, here we go. I got 5 knives to show you. We're going to start with the littlest one, and we'll work our way up. I'm going to put my spectacles on.
Spectacles, testicles. What is it?
Wallet and watch. So this is a really cool kind of steampunk theme, black PVD micro Praetorian, super cool knife. So you'll see on there, it's got gold anodized gears, mechanisms.
Love that one.
It's got opposing faced hardware that's been anodized. And on the opposite side, they steampunked out the clip, a couple of eyeball screws, faced off hardware in contrast. Just a really sexy S45 VN micro Praetorian in PVD with a plethora, a dearth, a cornucopia, if you will, of cool little accoutrement. Sexy little knife, moving on. Did I miss anything there, Amy?
That's very cool. No, that's what we call ghosted, even though it's gold. It's interesting because it doesn't fill in the colors. That's one of my favorites. Super cool.
All right, moving on. We now have a PVD coffin-shaped Nosferatu auto dagger that's been faced and flamed.
With the PVD base?
And like I said when I opened, this is a PVD, totally PVD knife that's been faced and flamed. And I think normally she'd smack me in the head for that, but now it's not spousal abuse anymore. It's hostility in the workplace.
And that's pen ano.
What's that?
The flaming, it's not heat.
Oh, this is done laser ano, right?
Pen ano.
Oh, okay.
It's Thomas's.
So it's been anodized in opposition to the PVD fluting. Super cool. Now the lock's on. Just
Got some good snaps.
evil blade. It's an evil knife with a sinister coffin shape, so reminiscent of Count Dracul. And then, can you imagine just sewing machining somebody in the neck with this? Like if they got out of line, you had to teach them a lesson. I mean, that is a blunt. That thing would go clean through you like a hot knife through butter. But it's not blunt. It's nasty. Super fun, asymmetrical dagger. Nothing about that but cool. Moving on, let's go to our. We've got a contoured 187 DP. So this is a black contoured 187 DP that's been all hand contoured and softened. This knife feels like $1 million, and it's only going to be a bunch of dollars, but it won't be $1 million. But it feels like $1 million. Just absolutely yummy with, I would call this a melted black PVD 187 DP. Super nice. This has got all the bling of a really expensive $700, $800, $900 knife. And how much is this thing?
With the contouring?
Yeah. We shall see.
$810?
So it is but it's got all this custom stuff to it.
Contouring is the most difficult.
Yeah.
Fish always tells me, sure you better be charging enough.
Yeah, this is a pain in the ass to do. For you guys who say, that's fire! That's fire! It's fire! Should I dress casual or fire? Answer always fire.
What's that?
That's like when you're texting somebody, how should I dress? Fire or casual? Fire. I don't care where you're going, the answer's fire. Praetorian, a MIDI Marauder. So this is not a slim MIDI. This is a full balanced slab knife. This has got some cool contour that's been done on the mill. The contours, the millwork is complementing the laser work. So you'll see some of these pivot centers have got some milling features in them, which I think is just a great idea. It looks beautiful, and it adds a little illusion of three-dimensionality to the artwork.
And he did some on, I love the
Did
back.
some on the backside too, snuck it in there. So just a sexy knife. That poking up out of your pocket says man about town. Greg, this is Shane Gables. I changed my channel name. What does that have to do?
I don't know.
Shane,
Just letting you know.
in your next blurb, would you tell me what that means?
And that's a deep cut.
Oh.
The laser.
Yeah, so
Got a little bit more of a.
the laser work on this has got some feel to it. It's not just a mark. So there's some texture to it.
Yeah. Super cool.
Pretty neat.
This last one's.
Pretty neat looking. And the next one here.
sick.
If I was making a knife right now, I'd go like this and sizzle some spice over it. It's this knife's got a lot of cool to it. This is an Arctica, which we haven't made in years. I don't know where the new old stock parts came, but it looks like natural stone that's had some engraving features done to it. Super sexy. And what are you guys calling this finish, Amy?
Acid etch.
Acid etch. They're calling it acid etch. I don't know what this is. The bulldog's walking down the hallway
So
to see what's
funny.
going on
Looks
right
like an old
now.
man.
This knife's got a lot going on.
That's a Vulcan blade, huh?
A Vulcan blade Arctica. This is
Crazy.
like a knife. We haven't made this knife in like 5 years.
You remember who you made that for? Who you designed that knife for? You remember?
Oh, wait a minute. I changed my YouTube channel name. I'm the guy that bought my knife from working at a strip club.
Sweet.
Nice. It's one of my favorite stories.
Yeah, so back to the Arctica.
Yeah,
I remember his name even.
Who are you talking about? What are you talking about?
The customer in Canada who requested you make a knife,
Oh.
and you made the Arctica.
Yeah, somebody wanted a knife like the
A
TFF
reseller.
one, but a little bit more for like ice work up in the Northern Territories. I was like, okay, well, I'll do a little rework on the thing. And then we made the Arctica, which is the name of like the first Russian ice cutting polar crossing ship of some kind. So that's 5 knives that are working their way into the virtual holiday show on Friday. Now remember, that's 4:30 p.m. We're gonna have some giveaways, some announcements. We're gonna release a batch of a new knife you guys have never seen us make before. That is fuckalicious. It's awesome.
Wow.
So we're gonna number the first batch of these we make, and we're gonna offer them to you guys who pop online with us for the show. I'm excited. I'll show you the prototype, and you should just. I'm not gonna have full details for you yet because I'm still making some stuff for it. But the action has been months and months and months in the design and prototyping, testing, and making process. It's really cool. You're gonna like it. We're not saying what it is. It's really cool.
It's gonna be huge.
It's gonna be huge. It's gonna be the best ever, the greatest. And the other thing we're gonna do is we're gonna show you all 4 models of the ASK. We're gonna show you the Jefferson, the Washington, the Ironsides, and the Alcazar. They're really cool. We've also got the one, which we'll be showing you guys in 4 different versions. We've got some really cool custom printed scales for the ASK series. So we're trying to get that out there a little bit. It should be fun. No hookers at this show like we had a couple years ago. There were hookers there.
That was a mess.
It was a mess. They were a mess.
Lord.
That's what happens when I let one of my fellow
Better
clan
off having
members.
midgets.
I don't know who she's gonna date. I don't know who is gonna date her. They're gonna be like, she's great, and then she's gonna open her mouth at dinner, and they're gonna be like, oh my God, I can't have her around my family. What's the BMC? What's that? BMC gonna be with you? BMC.
Big man on campus. I don't know.
I don't know what that means. So this is 4:30 Arizona time this Friday, the 18th. That's 6:30 East Coast time, 3:30 Westy California
There we go.
time.
Got it.
What?
the time.
Oh, okay.
We were goofing at the time.
Yeah, that's
both
right. I
of us.
was. The Black Medford
Medford
Coalition. Oh, yeah, that's right, man. How's it going? Roto Gibbo. Everyone uses fake names. I don't know who anybody is. The Black Medford Coalition. For those of you who don't know, that is a group of guys who are of people. They're POCs, and they like our stuff and don't find me a racist. Those are people of color. I actually just think of them as knife people, but apparently they're people of color, and apparently I'm a racist. What can you do? It's so weird that I get called a racist, isn't
A lot
it?
of people are getting called racist.
Have you been called a racist yet?
Me?
No.
Not yet.
No. Ellen DeGeneres, that's the worst thing you've been called.
God, Ellen, you remind me of Dory. I'm like, oh.
Dory, that's so bad. And you're like, ah. And me, they say I remind them of Winston Churchill. And like if Winston Churchill and Adolf Hitler had a baby, he would look like me.
I've heard of Christopher Walken for me.
Oh, yeah, I could, yeah, a little bit.
You can hear that? Oh, my God, I'm leaving now.
No, don't leave. I gotta be careful what I say. She might divorce me. Anyways, we're having a good time here. We're still making knives. She and I get along really well. We get along pretty well, right?
Yeah.
In about 10 years, she's gonna, I'm new. I'm Jim the Jarhead Semper Fi. James. Jim the Jarhead Semper Fidelis. You know, in about 10 years, she's going to start forgiving me for our youth, and she might decide I'm not so ugly after all. So I'm trying to get myself in shape for the forgiveness period when that time begins so that I'll be ready for when she comes back around. She's going to date and find there's a bunch of shit-heel motherfuckers out there, and my language and worldview won't seem so bad at that point. And as it is, our kids are turning out great, and I'm in on that whole deal. So
awesome.
That's going to be like some vindication of my ways as our son turns into a good man. So she's going to come around. We'll see what happens.
Gonna come around.
Anyway, in the meantime, if she doesn't, I'm having a little bit of fun. I know it's really weird. I go out and have pizza, occasionally do some country dancing. If any of you are knife collectors and you're super hot and you want to meet me at the Buffalo Chip, I usually go down there on Friday nights. Okay, so that's our Tuesday afternoon
Guys
show.
don't even know what to say. They're like, I don't know what
Guys
to say.
are like, what the fuck is he doing? That's hilarious.
Thing.
So, Amy, tell me, is there anything fun going on out there? Did you just smack the back of my head?
I did. Anything fun?
Hey. She was busting my balls the other day. I was like, hey, hold on a second. I got to go. And I just hung up. You remember you giving us a hard time about being at lunch when the computers weren't shut down? I was like, oh, I used to have a wife who used to harass me like this. Hold on, I got to go. And then we went back to lunch. Anything exciting going on?
Oh, I'm just busting my ass trying to
People are like,
keep
what
knives
the
going
fuck?
out the door.
We get along really well, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. And Smedley's doing well. I know a bunch of you want to know how the Bulldog's doing.
Smedley.
Anything-
He's 6 years in now, and he's starting to get a little joint stiffness, I can tell.
Yeah.
He's getting ornery.
Get
He
him
barks
some-
at everybody.
I know it's like you. You're getting ornery too. You bark at everybody. You know, they say owners and dogs are like each other. Great teams up with the Medheads. Oh,
New York Custom Knife Show.
New York Custom. Listen,
What?
I don't
That
even.
was so 2018.
I'm staying in America. I'm not going to New York.
Yeah, that's true.
What were you saying about Oh, the Medheads. We're gonna be doing a giveaway during the broadcast, and Jeff has all the details. I don't know about that, but for those of you on the Facebook Medheads group, I think there's about 1,500 of you. I hope you stop into the show on Friday, and we'll be doing a little something special just for you guys who partook in the roses are red, violets are blue. We love Medford Knife and Blade HQ too. Those of you who sent that message out to Blade
so sad,
HQ, we thought that was cool. Nix is in Nashville now.
What?
Nashville. Okay, I might go to Nashville. Look, I don't know anything about it. Does anybody know anything about it? Maybe I'll go to that show.
I would go to Nashville.
Well, okay. Well, I'm gonna go to Nashville for the show as a knife maker. So this is Greg Medford from Medford Knife. Apparently, I may be bringing one of the employees along to the
my
show,
God.
and I'll have 2 rooms
I hear
there.
there are a lot of nice cowboys out there.
We got 3 knives, PVD, FF, S45 yen infraction, and 1776 ASC. Oh, that's right.
It's this weekend.
It's. Oh, I'm not going to it this weekend.
Yeah, no. That's
Fuck, how did I miss out on that one? I'm going to go talk to my crew. We'll get scheduled back for that. I think that's about it. I think we've wrapped it up. And there's nothing else you want to mention? Put the bags for these.
I don't know. Christmas is coming up. I don't know.
All right, Christmas is coming up. We have some ASK knives, interestingly, in stock. And if anybody wants to jump on a ASK knife and offer a premium, 100% American-made product that is a great stocking stuffer. It's a great under the tree. It's a great for the boss, great for the key employee, great for the spouse. We can even put pink scales on it so you can send it to your little lady.
And remember, we have those awesome samurai sacks. I think people forget about them. That would be a great compliment to
Get over here on the screen if you're going to yippity yap.
Samurai sacks.
Samurai sacks. For those of you who don't know,
Yeah.
I had a bunch of vintage Japanese wedding kimonos from the early part of the 1900s, 1920s, 30s, 40s. They're beautiful ceremonial robes, generally worn one time. And they're just dying in closets. So I bought them out of Japan, cut them up into pieces, and turned them into little bags with a little closure flap and tie on. They're really cool samurai sacks. But don't forget about ASK. You can go to askknife.com, and Smoky Mountain Knife Works has got some in stock. Blade HQ's got some in stock. I've got some in stock. And if you get something from Blade HQ, we love Blade HQ. Call them out. Their ownership has bagged me for being controversial and is carrying my stuff, but they won't promote me. So give them a hard time. Say, wish we saw more Medford stuff. Buy something from Blade HQ and say, show us more Medford stuff. We're tired of the cancel culture. We're tired of them shadow banning me. But be really nice to them because I like them and they're good people. EDC Specialties, yeah, they've got some.
Tore up HQ.
I tore up. Gracias, muchas gracias. Okay, well, that's all from down here in apparently the blue state of Arizona, the gun-toting, pro-life blue state of Arizona. Completely, we have.
You know who I like more now? Dave Chappelle, even more.
You like him more?
Did you see his SNL skit?
No. What was it? Tell me about it.
It's very good.
What's it about? Is it about the Arizona
talks
election?
About Trump.
Yeah.
And it was so good what he said about him.
Was he talking about why people like Trump? Like I live down amongst poor white people.
You know what Trump is? He was the first man that said the truth about lying, and then he said,
"Oh yeah, I did see that.
We're all in this house in here, and this is what we're doing." And then he walked back in the house.
He's like,
so
yeah.
funny.
I remember during the election, like you didn't pay any taxes. He goes, "That makes me smart."
And he said, "Yeah, well, you go ahead and change the tax laws, but you won't."
Yeah, that's right.
Chappelle, what a guy. He's funny.
Chappelle, he is a goat.
All the guys that are coming out. Someone else did too. Just kind of not, yelling it from the mountaintops, but you can tell in the background they've got some conservative perspective.
He's
nice.
liberty. He doesn't like Trump. He's
Yeah, but he wasn't saying bad things about
I know
Trump.
he wasn't. He was saying, I get it.
For the
I
first
understand
time,
it.
he's like, I appreciate him being candid. And all these other guys are just lying out the side of their mouth.
Yeah. He is saying the system is rigged. I know because I've been part of it. Yeah. The best was when he was talking about, I don't know if you guys remember this or saw it. It was great. Trump said during one of the to the 2016 debates where they had like 25 people up on stage and Ron Paul was there or Rand Paul, I don't know, one of the fucking Pauls was talking shit about Trump. And Trump said, well, you didn't mind free vert girls chat in you city.
Oh, that's...
What does that mean?
That's some porno...
Oh, okay. Oh, 69 triple X life.
Sweet.
Fuck that guy. So he said Rand Paul talked some smack about him using his money, and then he goes, yeah, you were just at my office and asked for $10,000, so you do what I say. I thought that was pretty funny.
That's
Remember
funny.
that was the death of Rand Paul running for president. Anyways, Greg Medford from Medford Knife. My ex-wife, Amy Medford from Medford Knife as well.
Keeping the name.
She's keeping the name because, it makes sense. And we're kind of doing our thing here. So talk about, they tried to put Chappelle under, but yeah, it's absolutely. It's,
gonna do it.
Yeah, it's anybody who doesn't sing the party line is do I say stuff that's inappropriate? Yes. Do I say stuff that I say stuff that I wouldn't say at a cocktail party? Absolutely. Because it's a different audience. This is my people here. You guys are I figure we're all birds of a feather. But apparently we get some interlopers who just think I got quoted in a newspaper article the other day. They must have come through and watched 100 of these videos. And all it says is obscure podcast knife maker calls people who don't agree with him dumb cunts. That was the headline.
You're like, yeah, that sounds like me.
That was the headline of the article. And then I read the article and I was like, well, the guy's a dummy. He said he called for me for comment and I wouldn't comment. Not true. Amy knows.
Oh my God, you've never turned down a
There's
commentary
nobody.
session.
Oh yeah. The Brits showed up at the election party the other night. These British guys were there from some British TV station, and they put a camera in front of my face, and they asked me what I thought about something, and I was like, I started in an English accent, and they were like, what's going on here? And then I switched to an American accent, and I was making fun of their prime minister, who was a prime minister for like 8 days. It was hilarious. 6:30 in Tennessee. If Tennessee is East Coast time, I think it would be 6:30. But just Google 4:30 Arizona time. You can see what that is. That's the show Friday. It's going to be a good time. We'll make some fun announcements. We'll give away some stuff. We have a really crazy big knife announcement. In addition to a couple of new knives nobody's ever seen before. Amy's not going to be there. But I'll be there. I think we got everybody. That's it. Anything you want to add?
Nope.
All right, motherfuckers, we're out.